Hi, I'm Margaret from Margaret's Crafts. I wanted to share with you my knitting and crocheting that I've done over, it's been about a month and a half now. Uh, as everyone else, life gets in the way sometimes and it slows my knitting down, and the recording has to come in after, let's say, our life things that I really love the recording, but I just can't get a chance to record when there's no one here. I hate to record when my husband's downstairs. I just feel funny talking to the computer. I guess that's something I'll have to get used to. So until then, I guess we're going to have to play it, see how it comes out. So I want to thank all my new viewers, and I want to welcome my new viewers and my old viewers back. And if you like the content of my videos, please hit the subscribe button. Plus, there's a bell next to the button that you can hit to be notified when new videos come up. And remember to hit the like button so that I know that the videos are enjoyable to you, because I really enjoy making them because I have no one around me that knits or crochets. So this is kind of like my knitting world or my knitting friends. So I want to start off with some finished items that I have. My notes are right over here if you see me looking to the side. Okay, for the first finished items, I'm still making my charity hats. I did get my Addy circular knitting machine, the king size end. So I have some hats. Now some are charity hats and some hats that I made for my family coming up here. So here is one of the hats that I made. I don't know if my husband's going to keep this one or if he's going to keep one of the other ones. This is the yarn that I had left over from making his vest. So I was able to get 3 hats out of the yarn that I had left over. This is number 2. And these are the double hats. I like those. And here's the last one because he wanted to try a thin hat. So what I did was to pick it up and do the double brim or finish, the finished brim on it, and then do the rest in the single, which made it a much thinner hat that he can use on the not so hot days, not so cold days. So that's 3 hats that I have that I made out of the scraps. The next hat is, I bought some yarn a while back for my son to knit him a hat. So I just did him one of the doubled hats or the reversible hats. This one is solid green and the camel green. So you can wear it either way. So that's one. And then I had some left over and I made him the same thinner one to wear on the not so cold days. But I still do, I like that. I think it's about a 2.5, maybe a 3 inches. So it covers the ears anyway. It just is a little thinner on the head. Okay. And for the charity hats, I had some yarn left over, and all these are doubled. They're the reversible or the doubled ones. I like making those because they're really, really warm. So this is one. This is another one with the pom-pom on it, with the solid pink on the inside. And these are all out of 100% acrylic because these are going to be donated. And here is a black and white one, which could be reversible. But I like the black on the outside. So there's another one. This is one with the blue and the striped blue, the coordinating color, and it's that one on the inside. Here's another one with the gray with that same pink that I did. I just picked out a different color out of it and made a nice big pom-pom out of it. And it's the inside, it's the stripy color. There's a purple that I did the same way with the purple on the inside. And this one is some more yarn that I found that I had, and it's just, it has the silver metallic like. So I did a pom-pom. It's coming out blue, but it's teal colored with the metallic on it. No, it's still coming out blue. And you can see the metallic on that one. So those are all my charity hats. So I have, how many to add? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more to add to the charity hats. Next, I finished my husband's vest. And last time I had the front done. I was still working on the back. I was down here on the back. So I have the back is all complete. And the ribbing is in around the neck and around the sleeves, the armholes. So I'm going to wash it and block it. I'm going to wash it, dry it, and then steam block it. I bought a hand steamer so I can, because this is acrylic. He wants acrylic because he wants to wear this one to his treatments in the summertime because he still gets cold, but he has to have his arms out, so he'll be covered up here with this. So now I'm going to wash it today and give it to him. It's all done. It's the, excuse me. This is the Office Vest by Lisa Carahan. I used a US 6 or 4.0 millimeter and a US 8 5.0 millimeter. And I used the Karen Big Cakes and Nightberry, and I used a little over 2 skeins. That's why I had so much left over. And it's the cables going up the front, but on the back I didn't do the cables, but I just did a ribbing. Instead of placing the cables in there, I just did the rib. And that's his vest. So that's done. The next thing I have done is a pair of socks. They are the, I call them the vanilla frozen socks. They're just a vanilla sock with a fish lips kiss heel. And the toe is the Hermione's Everyday Toe Decreases. So I do have them both done. Last time I had just turned the heel on both of these. So I went down the foot and did the toe. So both of those are done. And I used a US 1.5 or 2.5 millimeter, and I used a Knit Pick Stroll hand painted in frozen tono. These are mine. I don't like them real tall. So both sets are done. I mean, both socks are done. So now they just have to be washed, and those will be done. Now that's all my finished items. I have a few whips. The first one is right here. I might as well show you. It's my husband's socks, and these are the Pacific Tonal rib socks. It's just a 3x2 rib with the Fish Lips Kiss heel, and I'm going to do the toe decreases, or the toe decreases are by Hermione's Everyday Socks toe decreases. I do have one done. Last time on both of these, I was finished with the leg and had not started the foot yet, the heel yet. So I did do both heels. The one foot is done on this one. These are extra long. He likes a long cuff. And you can see it's just a rib pattern with the Fish Lips Kiss heel and Hermione's Everyday Socks. I like those toes and they fit our feet good. The second one I have, the leg is done, the heel is in, the foot is done. I have 1 more inch of the foot to do, and then I'll start the toe. So this one will be done also this week. And these are, I used a US 2 or 2.75 millimeters. The Knit Pit Stroll hand painted in Pacific Tonal, and that's for the leg and the foot. The cuff, heels, and toes are done with Cascade Yarns Heritage Solid in Cerulean. And I also used in the heel, I found at my local shop, my local yarn shop, they had reinforcements because he's going through the bottom of all of his heels. He has really rough feet on the bottom of his heels. So I used that reinforcement, but now that I did it and I can see where he's wearing them out, he's not wearing them out on the back of the heel, this part of the heel. He's wearing them out right under the bottom. So next time I do him a pair of socks, I can save some of that and just do it when I start to come down for the bottom of the heel. Then I'll add in the reinforcement. And it was a black reinforcement. They didn't have the exact color, so it looks a little marled. And then these are solid. These are also a teal color, which isn't coming up. They're coming up as blue. So I did that reinforcement on both of his heels. I just held it when I did when I started the heel, I just added the thread then and just kept, knitting it like I did everything else and then weaving in the ends. So these will be done today, so he'll have another pair of socks. Well, yeah, I think I will get those done today. Another item that I have is the Scrappy Granny Stripe blanket. I can't remember who I followed, which pattern I followed. I found it on YouTube here. And I am using a USF hook or a 3.75 millimeter. And I'm using assorted yarns from fingering to worsted, but it all has to be washable because I'm using acrylic and I'm using sock yarn and I'm using other wools, but the wools that are superwash. So the last time I did it, I haven't worked too much on this because I don't have too many, I don't have that many yarn scraps yet. Now I can add in my socks, and I've added in like the yarn, and I guess it depends on how far I get if I'll put in some more of the other yarns. But the last time I was right here, so I did get like 10 more rows put in. $11 rows in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 rows put in. I did get 12 more rows put in, so here's how my blanket is looking. Even my husband commented that it's looking really pretty. And it is a little short of my wingspan, maybe a foot short of my wingspan. And I'm going to make it about 6 feet long. And then I'm going to put a border on it out of the same gray that I started it with. I have extra balls of that stored so I can put the gray in. So that's my blanket. I can call it a blanket because it folds very nicely. And actually, sometimes if I get cool, I'll just lay it the longer way and lay it across my legs. The next one that I have that I've been working on a little bit. Right now, we've getting into a hot season. So this one is really hard to work on because it is worsted weight held double. And it is the brown horseshoe throw, and the pattern is the horseshoe throw by Amy Paulison, and I'm using a US 11 or 8.0 millimeter, and I'm using Dreamweaver's yarn and brown held double. Okay. And here's where I was the last time. Let's see. Right here. So I did about maybe 4 inches of this. So remember, let me just show it to you. It is this wide because it's on the needles, but it's stretched out as far as it's going to stretch. So this one is my wingspan. So I'm about 5'4". So this one is just about my wingspan, and it's going to have the border to go along it. So it'll be my wingspan when it's all done. And I want it about 7 feet tall. So I'm getting there. So here is it. Let's turn it around so it's the right way. This is heavy. This one is for my husband. So this one stays in a bag over here. And just a minute, I have one more item to show you. Okay, and I have one more item. It's a new start. And this is the anthracite. I call it the anthracite wing shawl. And it's called the Fay Wing Shawl. Excuse me. It's called the Fay Wing Shawl by Kelly McClure. And it's done on a US 8 or 5.0 millimeter. And I tore that poncho out. After I got started, I'm like, I'm never going to wear a poncho. And I went looking for a shawl that I can use, that I thought that this yarn would look really nice in. It's the Red Heart, it's the Red Heart Super Saver Ombre in anthracite. And, okay, good. I'm not in the middle of a row. And here, I'm doing it a little different than what the pattern called for. I'm changing up the number of repeats in the different sections she has. So this is where you start off, and I doubled this section right here at the tip. And then I doubled this section here because it's supposed to be, it's a free pattern. It's supposed to be 3 repeats and then 1 repeat, then, 3 repeats, and then the one section of garter stitch, then three. But what I'm doing is I did a double at the beginning, then I did six, which is, I did 6 repeats. I did the garter section. I did 5 repeats, the garter section, 4 repeats, the garter section, 3 repeats, the garter section, then back up to 4, then 5, and now I'm working on 6, and then I'll do 5, 4. So mine is going to look a little bit different, and I'm going to make it bigger than what the pattern, because I think it's, you use 1 skein, but I'm going to use 2 skeins of this yarn. And then I'm going to steam block it to see how big I can get it to go. I want it, I'm going to really stretch it to open up, but I'm not going to make it as wide. I'm not going to try to overstretch it wide. I want it stretched real good long ways. So this is what I have so far. And it goes down like this. And I love how these colors are going from dark, let's see, it's a medium to a dark, back to a medium, to a light, back to a medium, to a dark. And I think I have 3 skeins of this, but I'm only going to use 2, and then I'll probably use 1 to make me a hat to match it. But that's my shawl that I've been working on. That's the stitch right there, the lace pattern. I love it when it stretches out. You can really see how nice that looks with the garter on each side. But that's the way I'm doing this pattern. I'm just changing it up so it can be a little different. And that's all that I have to share with you today. I didn't do any yarn shopping. I'm trying to use up the yarn that I already have. I've been so tempted to go to Hobby Lobby and see what they have. I still may sneak and go, but I'm trying to contain myself. And also for the Walmart's, what are they? The Walmart yarn that they're clearancing out. I have a bunch of that already, and I'm trying to wait until I get some stuff off the needles and get some more of the charity hats done to get some of that charity hat yarn out of my stash, which this summer I have, my summer hours are very different than my my regular, when the kids are in school, I work a different hours. And so I have more of a free time in the summertime. So I'm getting my room fixed up. I bought stuff. I wanted to make some new bags. I have some ideas about some bags that I want to make. And so I got my sewing machine all set up in there. And I changed my yarn around to get my yarn cabinet all straightened up. And I'm trying to work on that so I can get some of the sewing done that I want to do, and making a space that I can leave up my my knitting machines, my Addie, and then I have the one, the smaller one from Michael's, which is still working good for me, to make the smaller kid size hat. The Addie's hats, the Addie I use for the adult hats. The one from Michael's I use for the kids' hats. And then I have that little teeny Singer, which I'm trying to see if I'm going to use that enough to make, using it for anything, to see if I'm going to buy the Addie in that one. Because it's not that much. It's only like $100. But I have to show myself that I'm actually using it to see if I want to buy it. And that's the same thing that I did with the one from Michael's. I bought that to see if I was going to use it before I invested into the Addie. And then my husband ended up getting me the Addie for my birthday because I did fall in love with it. But I want a designated spot set up so I don't have to keep moving it around in the living room and setting the tables up. I do have that bench that the workbench, and I have it connected to there, but I want to get it in a spot where I can use it all the time. And that's all that I have to share with you for today. Thank you very much for watching my videos, and please come back again. Bye.